It's time for action at Chang, the Destination Speed International Speedway in Thailand. This is the 6th round of the Saturday Championship in Zero Racing. This is the first race of 2. Just apologies for not getting these up sooner. I am going to be putting up a race per day from now on until I'm out of races. And hopefully I can catch up. Been a little bit under the weather, so please excuse the voice if it cannot keep up today. Let's get rolling here. So on pole, Martin Lauer will take the pole position from Ben Schwari, championship leader. Wesley Stokes is 3rd. 4th is Dule Markovic, very solid qualifying for the Yugoslavian or the Serbian driver. Michael Schneider starting from 5th. 6th is Nino Schultz making his debut. James Gill in 7th place. 8th place for Dean Reimers. 9th place for Rick Martel. 10th is Mark Minahan. 11th is Mike Magasevich. 12th place Jason Chittenden. 13th Alan Angel. 14th David Collins. And 15th Mark Clapp-Zuul. Let's get rolling. This will be an approximately 10-lap race around the Chang International Speedway. And they are off, and it looks like Lauer has kept the lead. Schwari still 2nd. Stokes doesn't look like there's anything in the top 5 that's changing. Or maybe there is. Wesley Stokes goes around the outside of Ben Schwari and takes 2nd place. Mark Clapp-Zuul off in the background. Schwari is in 3rd place. Michael Schneider is in 4th place, having gotten the better of Markovic. In 6th is the debuting, both actually the debuting of the car, the Callaway C7 for Nino Schultz, and his own debut. Markovic going up the inside of Schneider to retake 4th position there. 6th place Gill, 7th place Reimers, 8th place Magasevich, who's up from 11th on the grid. Very good start. Rick Martel off and Dave Collins off in the background. Mark Clapp-Zuul, despite his off, is up to 9th place ahead of Mark Minahan. Then it's Chittenden, Angel, Martel, Collins. Might have been one spot off there. I believe that Clapp-Zuul is actually in 10th place. At the front, Martin Lauer's been pretty dominant at this track. Wesley Stokes is on his tail. Schwari in 3rd position, followed by Markovic. And then the top independent entry, Michael Schneider in the McLaren 650S. Behind Schneider is the debuting Callaway C7, 6th place Nino Schultz, 7th place James Gill, 8th place Dean Reimers, 9th place Magasevich, 10th is Minahan as Clapp-Zuul goes off in the background and rejoins in 11th or 12th place behind Jason Chittenden. He's off again. Now Alan Angel coming down the middle. Clapp-Zuul having some big problems. That's going to slip him all the way back to, I believe, 14th place as Rick Martel shoulders him out of the way. Dave Collins is at the back. Angel going down the inside of Chittenden. Martel's going. Clapp-Zuul's going. 4 cars in a very small section. Oh, and Clapp-Zuul with an absolute body check on Jason Chittenden. What happened there? Let's have a look at what happened between Clapp-Zuul and Chittenden in this battle for what is 11th place, effectively. Let's take this around here and look at it slowly. So, just kind of runs across his front end. Nothing malicious, but definitely a little bit hard done by there for Jason Chittenden, who falls to the back of the pack. And this battle, I think, is going to go on for a while. Meanwhile, at the front, it's still Lowry from Stokes, from Schwari, Markovic, Schneider losing the inside. Schultz is going down the inside to take 4th or 5th position. He's through, but can he hold it? He's going to go wide on the exit. The 650S is much able to keep a much tighter run through there. In the background, it is James Gill in 7th place and Reimers at 8th place. Schneider is going to be relegated to 6th place by Schultz here, and now with a run on him is James Gill. He's going to hold off Gill for now. As the battle continues. And Martel's taking 11th. Alan Angel is spinning out in his 650S. Looked like it might have been contact with Mark Clapp-Zuul. Let's have a look-see here. Tries to slip down the inside. Just gets caught up in the wash a little bit and taken out there. At the back, it is Chittenden still running in 15th place. It's been kind of quiet at the front in comparison. Not much really happening, although very close together. A lot of potential action. Martel has come out of the battle for 11th in, well, 11th place ahead of Clapp-Zuul and Dave Collins. And falling back have been Chittenden and Anhel due to their spins. Martin Lauer comes around to lead the second lap to a close. Wesley Stokes still on his tail, still within striking distance, as is Ben Schwarry in third place. Fourth place, it's Markovic still from Schultz. And then we have Schneider and James Gill rounding off this kind of first group that goes from first to seventh. Reimer's a little further back. Magasevich. This is the three Golden Bolt cars running together, 8th, 9th, and 10th. We'll see if they can work as a team to maybe get a little higher up. We know Golden Bolt has set sight on the team's championship, but has been struggling in the Saturday one. Oh, Michael Schneider went off. The 5th place McLaren of Schneider off, or the 6th place McLaren of Schneider is off. Let's see what happened. Looks like James Gill maybe went for the inside. I'm not really sure if there was any hard contact there, surprisingly enough. Let's have a look. We also got this little graphic that shows the some of the things for us here. Yeah, I mean, I would have to put that on Schneider. He tried to shut the door on what was a pretty good overlap for James Gill, so I'd have to give the Aussie a clean bill of health there. Schneider dropping back to 10th place off of that. And that will elevate Gill into 6th place behind Schultz. And then 7th for Reimers, 8th for Magasevich. Or is that 8th? Yeah, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. And yeah, 10th for Schneider. It's interesting to see some additional cars as we head into Season 6 when the teams will be open to taking any car they want, not just the BMW Z4. We do have some interesting ideas coming forth in Season 6. Possibly the introduction of endurance races, although that's not for sure. It's a little bit too close to it to make that decision unless there is a particular approval from the grid in that matter. Still in the lead is Martin Lauer from Wesley Stokes. Someone's off in the background. It's James Gill. So after his collision with Michael Schneider, has he had a problem as well? Looks like maybe Dean Reimer's gotten to the back of him. Let's have a look here. We're running here. Looks like he just loses on his own. I mean, Reimers ends up collecting him, but Mike Magasevich is going to go through. Mark Minahan's going to go through. And he's packed with Michael Schneider again in a battle for 9th place now instead of a battle for 6th place. Schneider going down the inside of Gill. Gill going very wide. Into turn 1, Rick Martel in the background in 11th place, followed by Mark Labzul. Chittenden in 11th, followed by Collins and Anhel. Or Chittenden in 13th place. Collins and Anhel 14th, 15th. Pardon my pardon. Martin Lauer calmly leading the race. Has a pretty good cushion. Top 3 are kind of on their own. Markovic kind of on his own. Schultz kind of on his own, so not much action in the top 5. Mike Magasevich has gotten up into 6th place now ahead of Mark Minahan and Dean Reimer. So we were saying about how the Golden Bolt cars wanted to go further up the field. Well, they've done that. They're up to 6th, 7th, and 8th now from 8th, 9th, and 10th. They have Schneider on their tail in the MMS performance-entered McLaren 650S. Be interesting to see what Michael Schneider can do next season with the proper team associated with him. He's announced that he intends to abandon the independent light, but he goes off the track there and then spins it trying to get back under power, and through will go James Gill and Rick Martel, and that's a parking it. The McLaren 650S of Michael Schneider is done. Dule Markovic is off the track. He was in 4th place. This is a big deal. Let's see what happens here. It doesn't look like he's going to have contact with anyone. He's losing ground to Nino Schultz, but he just loses the front end. Through goes Schultz. Let's see who else comes through. See, the Golden Bolt train led by Magasevich is coming through next. Boop, boop, boop. All 3 go through. And James Gill and Rick Martel there battling over what is now 8th place. Mark Labzul is going to come in the shot as well. So Markovic slips back to 10th off of that. Labzul, Chittenden, Anhel, and Collins still running. Martin Lauer is still very much in the lead. He's comfortably controlled this. We're approaching the halfway point in the race. Wesley Stokes got the job done with a daring move around the outside of Ben Chouari on lap 1 in the first corner. That's a championship battle between those two. He's cruising in second place ahead of Chouari. Nino Schultz, the debuting Callaway C7, has been very strong, up into 4th place now. Qualified a little bit further down, but has taken advantage of some mistakes and definitely done the job. Michael Magasevich is in 7th place. He's got to be, or in 5th place now. 5th place? 5th place. That's amazing for a guy who qualified in 11th. He's got his teammates Mark Minahan and Dean Reimers on his tail. Will he let them through? Because he's in theory the slowest of the Golden Bolt cars. Although he is at the same time fighting for the Academy Cup with Reimers, so you got to wonder if he's, perhaps interested in making sure that the Australian stays behind him. Also not often to finish in the top 10. James Gill in the background there in 8th place, followed by Martel and Markovich rounding off the points. Mark Klapzul is in 11th place, heading on to lap 6, followed by Jason Chittenden, Alan Anhel 13th, and Dave Collins in 14th. Let's ride on board with Martin Lauer and see how he manages the Chang track with such accomplished ease as he heads into the fast sweeper here. 5th gear turn. It's a little bit wide on exit, but not too bad. Slows down here for a surprisingly tricky turn. You'll find that the car likes to move around there a lot. We have this high-speed technical section. Ridiculously smooth driving here from Martin Lauer. A little bit off there, but sets himself up nicely for this next turn, heading into the final sector. This is BMW Z4's big hurrah this season. The absolute dominance of this car as the teams have gone with it. But with the open field next season, you have to remember how many Z4s we will see. The car is considered to be underpowered and largely non sequitur replaced by the M6 car, which has come out in the meantime. Dean Reimers is up to 5th place, Minahan in 6th, so it looks like somehow Reimers got both of his teammates, and Magasevich has slipped back behind both. He'll be in the tail gunning position with James Gill. It's really in an Australian pack here. Aussie, Canadian here from 5th down to 9th place. Meantime, Mark Klapzul's up into the points, having taken a spot off of Dule Markovich. This is a big deal for the Dutch driver. It's been a very frustrating season for him as a member of the member of a team with Alessio DeBonis and Quintus Gillespie. There has been no shortage of infighting in the team, and I think it's definitely hindered their ability to perform. So it looks like Markovich completely lost it. It looks like he was closing up on Rick Martel. Not surprising, keep in mind Markovich qualified in 4th and had been running there for a long time. And just gets off the track. And then can't control it on the dirty tires. Klapzul comes along and says, "Thank you very much. I will take that championship point." Meantime, Lauer continues to lead here on lap 7, followed by Wesley Stokes and Ben Chouari. These three have been in absolute class of their own. No one's really been able to keep up with them. Markovich had been for some time, and Schultz had been for some time, but it looks like the Callaway is falling back rather significantly now, settling for what looks like a 4th place upon debut for both driver and car. Very impressive outing from Nino Schultz. Dean Reimers will settle for a nice 5th place finish with his teammates Mark Minahan and Mike Magasevich running rear guard for him. There are still 3 laps after this one. Things could change, but he looks pretty comfortable. Things have largely settled down, it would appear. I think James Gill is maybe the guy with the most upward mobility down in 8th place. He's got some speed. He's really mastered this track pretty well, and you have to feel that he's, he out-qualified, I believe, every one of the 3 cars ahead of him, so he may still have some hunt in him. Rick Martel is in 9th place, followed by Dule Markovic, who's retaken the 10th place position off of Mark Klapzul. Jason Chittenden is keeping them company, having come back from his couple of offs. Solid 12th place for the New Zealander. And Alan Angel is in 13th position, representing Guatemala. Dave Collins will probably be lapped before the end of this race, as he is losing ground to Martin Lauer, the race leader. Looks like Ben Schwari might have closed up a little bit on Wesley Stokes, but you got to feel that he's relatively happy with a 3rd place finish, retreating his championship lead. Martin Lauer showed up healthy, has thrown a bit of a crank into the system here as far as the Saturday Championship is concerned. He's putting up some great numbers. Fantastic performance from the John Slow Racing car, teammate to Ben Schwari. But you got to feel that Wesley Stokes kind of needs some cars in between him and Schwari if he's going to really make the championship contention from Team Shashma. Schultz still running in 4th place for El Nino Racing. That is a lovely car, the Callaway Corvette. It's spectacular. It's highly recommended. Gorgeous car. Looking forward to seeing more of it as the season progresses. Reimers, Minahan, and Magasevich are still there, but they are being caught. We talked about this. The Golden Bolt cars are not on their game here, and James Gill is looking to slice through some of them to get a little bit higher up. Currently in 8th place, trailing Magasevich's 7th place car. Sniffing at this tail. This, I think, will be perhaps the most interesting battle we have remaining here for the last 2 laps. Martel in the background in 9th place. Savage getting a little deep on the brakes there. Doesn't look like there's going to be a run, though. Mark Beanahan going out a little bit wide there in 6th place. Good race for him. 10th on the grid is turned into a 6th place. James Gill going down the inside. Can Magasevich pull the switchback move, though? Looks like he might. And in fact, can. Retain hold of 7th place. Klapzul under pressure for 11th place from Jason Chittenden. Not for points, but important nonetheless. Although Chittenden is on for some Academy Cup points right now, although he is not improving his lot by going past Klapzul as he's not involved in the Academy Cup. Let's actually have a rundown of the Academy standings. The top 3 are non-Academy cars, but the 4th place car of Nino Schultz is. He is leading the Academy race here today. Dean Reimers is in 2nd place, followed by Mike Magasevich or James Gill. James Gill is in 3rd. Gill has gotten past Magasevich for that spot. 7th in the overall race. 3rd in the Academy standings. And it looks like Magasevich just got super wide there, although it looks like they were battling beforehand. Let's have a look at this. So Gill goes down the inside. Gets a little wide. Magasevich is going to appear on his left. No, not quite. That looks like at that point Magasevich had gone very off. So Magasevich 4th in the Academy Cup. 5th in the Academy Cup, Markovic. 6th is Chittenden. 7th, Angel. And 8th is the now lapped Dave Collins, who's been lapped by the... Oh, Ben Schwarry has taken 2nd place off of Wesley Stokes at some point. We have to go back and look at that. Did his teammate Dave Collins perhaps play a role in this? Focusing on battles further down in the field, we have totally missed a change in position for the podium. And a massively important moment here for the championship as well, as these are the two battling, the two protagonists battling for it. So it happened before they got up to the lap car of John Slow Racing's Dave Collins. So it looks like Schwarry had been for a couple of laps eating into his fellow American Wesley Stokes. And they're heading towards the air pit. Stokes covers the inside. But as a result is going to go wide and open up the inside line to Ben Schwarry, who just squeaks through. Beautiful move by the championship leader. Meantime, Magasevich has actually gotten back past James Gill. Actually, I believe this was already covered. It's later on in the lap that Gill makes the move. Let's just fast forward and check that out. We went back so far to find the overtake for 2nd place that we've lost our spot in time. Yeah, there it is. Gill up the inside, and then a little contact, and Magasevich goes out wide. I'd say that's more or less a racing incident. Magasevich probably should have just kind of let the spot go at that point, although I guess he is not really costing anything. He's still got a reasonable cushion back to Rick Martel. So on the final lap, Martin Lauer looks pretty set for victory. Ben Schwarry in 2nd has left Wesley Stokes just for dead, so I think the podium is established as well. Nino Schultz, a solid debut, very impressive 4th place. Dean Reimers is still not really under pressure, actually. He's got a pretty good gap. I'd say he's going to take home the 5th place here ahead of teammate Mark Minahan. Although Minahan is the Golden Bolt lead driver, so perhaps some team shenanigans might play into a role into this. We will see. James Gill, 7th place. Good solid result for him. It's been an up and down season for him with some sponsorship problems. As we said, Magasevich is in 8th place, followed by Martel and Markovic, who... He has to be thinking about what this race could have been. He started in 4th place. He ran in 4th place for a fairly long time. The bright side is if he holds on to this, he will pole for race 2. That could lead to some definite possibilities for some big points. 11th place, Mark Clapsoul. Come up from the back of the grid. Pretty solid result for him. Jason Chittenden is in 12th place. Had some moments, but he's recovered. Alan Angel has actually been catching up to these guys for a while, so he's really found a groove. He needs to carry that through into race number 2. Dave Collins is a lapped 14th place. By the way, Lauer has won the race from Schwarry and Stokes. Nino Schultz will take home 4th. Things are getting interesting for 5th, though. Dave Collins has kind of held up Reimers here in the lapping process. Might need to go back and look at that if there was some ignoring of the blue flags, perhaps. But Collins is a quality driver. And Reimers is going to come across the line in 5th, followed by Minahan in 6th. 7th for James Gill, 8th for Mike Magasevich, and 9th for Rick Martel. And the guy who will start from pole in race 2, Dule Markovic takes home 10th place and the last points finish. We will see if Michael Schneider and the MMS Performance crew can get the McLaren 650S ready for the next race. Mark Klabzul, Jason Chittenden, Alan Angel rounding off the grid with the lapped David Collins. So we're heading off to race 2 with the reverse grid in effect. Look out for that and enjoy what we got on offer. That will be coming up tomorrow.